Good evening, YouTube family. How we doing tonight? It is Friday, August 1st. Can't believe it's already August. Summer's passing us by. Up in the Northeast, it doesn't last too long. So once you hit the end of August, September, it starts to. You'll be lucky if it stays warm mid-September. This is a video real quick, pretty much about HVAC, and if you want to get into HVAC and you want to run your own business. So to do with running your own business, let me just tell you that get a system figured out. First off, unless you have somebody that's going to help you start your business, then either you're going to get a loan and you're going to have to buy a van, you're going to have to advertise, you're going to probably want to get QuickBooks. These are the things I did. I bought a truck, started from scratch, didn't get a loan, built my way up slowly. Or you can get a loan, start more, but then you can have all this debt right from the get-go, right from the gate. So be careful of that, because what if your business don't pan out? Many businesses fail within, the first 5 years. So I mean, if you make it past your first year, that's a time to celebrate. That's really good. If you make it a year in business and you're doing well, especially these days, I guess. But so try to keep it like I know a lot of people do that I've seen. You know what I mean? You don't go all out in the beginning. You get a used van. You know, get the stock that you know you need. You can open up credit at. Let me roll up my windows. I hope you can hear me. It's such a nice day tonight. So basically, open up credit at supply houses or just pay COD. But basically, if you start your company, you know, residential, you're going to be able to get your money back quicker. And charge the people same day. Figure out your rates. Figure out what you need to make. Figure out your markup. Be lesser at first if you have to. But be good. Be thorough. Be communicative to your clients. And bill on the spot. Don't bill out. I think that is what caused me to be able to maintain and sustain in my business. I was never chasing money, and I will not chase money. If I feel like I have to chase money with somebody, I'm done doing business with them. So basically, just don't even open up credit at a supplier if you can help it. I mean, the hard part is getting all that truck stock, because if you can have the more stock, in my opinion, the better. Because once you get out there, you're the guy that came, you knew how to fix it, and you had the parts to fix it. That is a bonus. So keep that in mind. And then the other part, there's so many parts. There's a lot of things about running your own little company. It's hard to crunch it down into one little video, to be honest with you. Build a reputation. Get something that's going to get you a good online presence. Some things are extremely expensive, but sometimes they can pay themselves back pretty quickly. So if you can get some sort of, start with Facebook, I guess. People do that, but I think that a lot of people that are searching for services on Facebook, I've heard this from people. I don't do it, but I have heard this from people. I have a Facebook page, but I don't use it. That it's hard to make money. So, I don't know. I started with Yellow Pages. It was horrible. I started with a company called 99 Calls after that. And that got me a lot of work. That was pretty cool. Then there are Home Advisor. I did Home Advisor. I didn't really care for that. But sometimes you do the things that you don't want to do to be able to not have to go back to work for somebody. So whatever you got to do to try to make it, honestly, but be honest and be fair, and maybe you have to use Home Advisor. I don't even know if they still exist, but I'm just saying Angie's List. I don't know. I was never big on it, but a lot of people that I worked with used it before, and I was never into it. I was too cheap to pay that. Some stuff costs really a lot of. I don't know. Anyway, so I won't get into that, but I gotta be honest. It was easier than I expected to stay in business and to keep the business going. I never felt like I had to struggle. I mean, and take work from subcontractors, take work. If there are times that you got to go help another guy that you know in the field out to pay for that day, do it. There was actually a time that when I first started, I remember I went back to work part-time-ish for a landscaping company down the road from my house where I grew up. And I had just stopped working for Lennox National Account Services, and I hadn't been in residential for a few years, but while working for them, I went and got my master oil burner license. And then I started my own company And then that first summer after, so I started in like December, January, that first summer was horrible. So I got a job with them. So I went from like $27 an hour down to like 11, shoveling hot mulch for the summer, being somebody's, it sucked. It sucked so bad. I was not happy. I hated it. I could not wait. So I just had to, I kicked it in high gear, whatever I had to do to make this business work, and to make this business launch off. I did whatever. I don't know. I don't even remember what I did, but I just did whatever I had to do. But I weren't going back to landscaping for that amount of money. I was able to get enough calls, enough jobs. So if you can get installs, that's great. If you can get service work, that's great. You know, maintenance is fine. Do stinking maintenances. You could start in these days, heat pumps are a big thing. So you can start just whipping in heat pumps. You could do a whole bunch of, start doing maintenance contracts with people. I mean, if you can't do a maintenance, then you shouldn't be running your own company. So get into maintenance. Just start advertising. Get postcards sent out. Start advertising yourself. So I don't know how much money you got in the bank. I don't know how much money you got to work with, but it does take money to start a business. It takes patience. It takes time. It's turmoil. It's hard. But remember, it's always better than working for somebody. I'm going to tell you something. I forgot what it's like to work for somebody. I've been on my own long enough that working for myself is now starting to suck, because I'm forgetting how good I have it. And that's kind of the problem when you're self-employed. You start to wonder, where am I headed? Where am I going? And that's where I'm at right now. 12, 13 years in business, I got too deep into residential. I just want to scale back a little bit. And I want, like I said in another video, I just want to get a little bit more involved in rooftops like I used to. The commercial stuff, which was thinking almost 13 years ago, which is insane to think that that's when I was doing that full time for somebody else. But anyway, I still do it every now and then when I get it, but I'm just trying to get more. And I don't know. I don't really know what my plan is, but I know I have a plan, have a goal. I didn't really have one. I just had a family, and like a lot of people, we have to work, we have to make money. But the fact is that even that if you don't have too high a debt, that's the biggest thing. Watch your debt. Pay your bills, and don't create big debts. Don't be in debt in your life. We don't, we have debt, but the bills we have are the necessary ones that we have to have. We don't have a lot of anything else. In time you can get the things that you need to get. Another thing to get like a job trailer, install trailer if you have to, or get a transit van like this that you can walk in and work out of. You can find these cheaper now. They've been out for a little while now, so you can probably find used ones. Just don't buy junk, but that's your own choice on what you find. But basically, I've really lost what I was saying. So I kind of lost track of what I was trying to say, because I said something else and then that threw me off. So the point is that have a game plan. Like I said, don't go majorly into debt. And what little bit that you do make being self-employed is still pretty darn good. It's a lot better than what you would have made a week, maybe even with overtime at some companies. But then again, you can make quite a lot for other companies on overtime, and if you're getting paid good as it is, but you got to work a lot of hours, and you're working, sometimes it feels like so much more for so much less. So when you work for yourself, maybe you do 3 jobs a day, and then you're going to make as much as I'm telling you, make $1,500 in a day. I didn't make that much. I didn't make that much in 1 week at a company, not back then anyway. But so you can do that, and it's cool if you don't have a ton of materials involved. That's even better, because then that's more profit on your end. But that's a little harder to do. Sorry, ambulance went by. So anyway, guys, so just anybody wanting to start their own, get into HVAC, or you're into HVAC right now and you want to start your own company, brand yourself, get a website. Look into all those things. These are things that you probably already know about. Online is everything these days. I use QuickBooks for invoicing and estimates. I have a website company that I use that specializes in HVAC. I've had it for a long time. I don't feel like I really need it anymore, but it's there. I got a Google business profile. My reviews, my photos are there. My reviews, my photos are on my website. I use both. I don't pay for advertisements like leads or anything like that. I used to pay for leads. I don't pay for leads, but in the beginning you may have to pay for leads, is what I was saying before. So, but brand yourself, Have a plan. Find out what you want to do. Find out what you're good at, what you like to do. Don't be like me and just do everything that you can do. Because, you know, if you're good at things and you want to try things and you try it and you learn it and you do it, maybe you like it. Maybe it's installing stinking generators and you work on the electrician. I don't know. Or maybe it's just heat pumps. You know, or maybe it's just plumbing. I don't know. I mean, there's so many avenues of the trade, but I don't know who you are or what you're looking to do, but I know what I've done, and I do oil, gas, air conditioning, I do heat pumps, I do boilers, I do furnaces, I do package units, I do a little bit of ductwork, I can do, you know, solder, brazing, to all the stuff that obviously I need to know how to do. You better know the basics. You gotta know how to braze. You know, yeah, you can use Zoom Luck these days. I have that. I have MakerPress. I have a lot of the cool tools, a lot of the stuff that helps me out. It's very expensive. You get it eventually, or you get a loan, whatever you do. But it's good to have the good tools. You gotta have good tools. I'm sure you get tools. Some tools you ought to. But anyway, guys, I don't know. If you have any comments, you have any questions, feel free to comment and ask me anything. I'll try to respond. But and just keep your head up. Seriously, keep your head up, and make sure your wife or your girlfriend is supporting you. And don't go crazy and buy too many tools behind people's backs, because it's hard to sleep at night thinking about how much you spent on a progress. Anyway, just be careful sometimes. But those tools are cool. Tools are cool. Learn the trade. Coming at you from Martin Heating and Cooling, HVAC, baby. Have a good night.